Caption: People use birch bark canoes to travel on the many rivers in Wisconsin. Birch bark. People made many useful objects from birch bark. The bark was collected by peeling it in sheets from the trunk. The large sheets were often several feet in both length and width. Birch bark canoes were perfect for travel on lakes and rivers. They moved easily and silently through the water. The canoes didn't weigh very much. Men could carry them over land when they needed to go from one river to another. The canoes worked so well that they were copied by other tribes and later by European explorers. To make canoes, birch bark was tied to a wooden frame. The seams were sealed with sticky pitch from pine trees. Other items were also made from birch bark. Women made bark boxes to hold corn, wild rice, and other items. The boxes were coated with pitch to make them waterproof. Some boxes were decorated by cutting patterns into the bark. People cooked in the boxes by filling them with very hot rocks and water. When the water got very hot, meat and vegetables were added. The food cooked in the hot water. A spiritual people. Like all people, Native Americans had a set of beliefs about how life began and what happens to us after we die. They were very careful about how they treated the natural world around them. Each animal and plant had a spirit and should be treated with reverence. The earth, the rocks, the sun, the moon, and the stars also had spirits. There were beliefs about how people should treat each other. The people believed in a spirit world. This world was a beautiful and wonderful place. People tried to connect with the spirit world through hours of prayer and dance. It was believed that people who saw the spirit world were given special powers to heal the sick and see the future. The sweat lodge was an important part of spiritual life. The lodge was a small wigwam with a fire and hot rocks inside. Water was sprinkled on the rocks to make steam. A man stayed in the sweat lodge until he was sweating all over. Then he ran out of the lodge and into the snow or river. Sometimes a group would sit in the lodge together and get instruction from religious leaders. People said they felt clean and relaxed after being in the lodge. Their minds were open to spiritual guidance. And over to the left here in blue is a comment from an Indian woman. Take time to look at it if you can. Here on the right, on page 45, is a writing, an American Indian writing called Animals and Birds. American Indians shared the land with animals and birds. They did not step on a snake's tracks in the sand. They did not disturb a fox's den. They did not push a lizard out of the path. Trees, flowers, rabbits, and insects were all important. American Indians said the land belonged to the spider and the ant and the deer, the same as it does to people.